How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation. It's time to get those creative juices flowing. Time to get that imagination all psyched up and hyper. And it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Sherm Cohen. And if you're not familiar with him, check over here. That's right. He is the wonderful, creative storyboard artist behind the fantastically entertaining and always spontaneous SpongeBob series. So I just have a little video of him doing some work on his storyboards over here for you guys to check out for a second while I share a couple of quotes that I found from him from some interviews that he did. And there's no secret to getting better at drawing. Just keep drawing every day and keep getting better every day. And that's what we talk about a lot here, is that it's about a continual journey that you're on being a creative person, or whatever medium it is that you're working at. If you're a musician, it's that, you know, sitting out and doing your scales every day, or learning a new song every day. Or if you're you know, a web designer, that you're going out and you're learning new Java tools or things. Of course, you can tell that I'm not as experienced with that. But yeah, it's just about that process and that journey, and being consistent, and going out and definitely being creative and getting the brain working in that method for at least a little bit every day, and trying to progress and further yourself. And the other one was, if you find the artwork that inspires you and emulate it. Take it apart, put it back together again. If you do all this fueled by a love of the medium, you're bound to come out better on the other side. And that's a great point. And I don't know if we talk about it as much here, but it's definitely something that I think we put in practice here. And that's that every day I go out and I try to find something that at least speaks to me that I can share with you guys as well. And that's kind of why we do this at the beginning of our videos every day, is to try and find something that maybe can spur your curiosity. Maybe you guys will go out and check out more about Sherm Cohen, which I definitely suggest you guys do. He's when I first started getting into illustration and animation back a couple years ago, he was one of the first people out online that was really free with information about stuff. So I definitely think he's got some great stuff to say, so definitely check him out. But again, whatever medium it is that you're in, find the things that you gravitate towards, the stuff that really gets your blood pumping, and you know, take that down. I urge you guys to make your own little sheet of stuff that you're inspired by, and keep it handy so that you always have a constant reminder of those you know, few people who have already made it, that really are kind of in that place that you want to be, that you want to aspire to be like. Not exactly that you want to mimic, but just to have be in a similar vein, and definitely learn from what they're doing, but then bring your own spin to it, and take your own you know, creativity and your own experiences and apply it to that. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be animating today. And again, if you're not familiar with this series, what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, give ourselves 48 frames, that's 2 seconds of animation, get a new rig every day. This is the ultimate Beefy rig. It's a free rig you can grab from Creative Crash, and we'll be using Autodesk Maya 2014. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in, and then by the end of this video, I hope you guys have either learned something, or that you get at least inspired to go off and create or make something of your own. And so we're just creating a polygon primitives cube just so we have a base here, but I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Let's do like a climb for this one, which will be a little bit different than a walk. So I was thinking for this is to create polygon primitives. Let's do a cylinder here. Let's go ahead and zero that out real quick, and push it forward, raise it up, and we'll hit R, we'll stretch it up, and let's just do climb the pole. Be something a little bit different. I don't know that we've done one of those here yet, so we'll start off. We just want to get that starting pose going, and we do want to have our hands in what's IK? Yeah. So that we can actually plant them on the pole as well. And let's grab that here, put that in, take that down, and do that. And this looks like it's going to be a really good rig to animate with. I'm surprised I haven't used this one before. From what I was just a little bit of tinkering, because I always tinkered just a little bit with the rigs before. I try to, like I said, have them be absolutely new and fresh so that we can have that experience together of what it would be like to just use a new rig. We can learn from that. But I do mess a little bit with them just to make sure there's no glaring flaws or anything that would make it so we have to kind of like redo the video and everything too. So, but from what I could see just from doing a little bit of test animation here, what we're going to have to do is grab those knees and up a little bit and bring it forward. And again, we're just building that storytelling pose here to start off with, so we have a nice place to start here. Pull it down a little bit. Let's do a little more forward. We'll go ahead and grab that foot here. So we're pushing it forward a little more. Let's rotate Y. And we're going to do the, where's the elbow? Oh, okay. That's all we're going to do. We have an elbow twist. No. These are the elbows here. Okay. That's all right. We just have to tweak those a little bit. Okay. Getting there. Pull that knee out here. And that knee out there. And the nice thing about climbs or basically a walk is once you understand a walk, you can really apply that stuff to a climb or a crawl or any of that kind of stuff, because the walk is really like, first you have to learn a bouncing ball, and then once you understand a bouncing ball, then you learn a walk, and then once you learn a walk, you can pretty much understand the concept of animating almost any action once you get the dynamics of how those work. So let's go ahead and take the head and let's rotate it up so it's kind of looking upward a little bit more. And let's grab his foot and pull it up. And I think we're going to want to go down a little bit. Go down a little bit there. A little more forward. Let's do a little bit of toe here as well. Towards that toe again. Just a little bit here. We're just, like I said, just building that a nice starting place here. Fingers a little bit to kind of cup that movement a little bit more. Make sure we're grabbing the right thing. See place to start with. Just give a little bit of spread in between there. Okay, I feel like that's a fairly good place to start off with our shot. The only thing that we might do a little bit different is hand up and that hand go down a little bit. Bring that up, down a little bit. So let's go ahead and save our shot again here. And now we can just build in all that information we need to do. Okay, so let's make sure that we turn everything off except for our nerd curves, nerd surfaces, and our polygons. And make sure we're still recording. Okay, and now let's start building this walk here. Let's go ahead and set our frame range from 0 to 48 there. Grab everything and go from 0 and hit S on the keyboard. Make sure we set our first frame there. And let's get going. Okay, so let's go on 6. Raise that up. And there's the feet and the hands. We're going to go up. To 12. And this we're going to go ahead and okay, and let's go to the other side and we'll lock in this foot and this hand at 12. We'll go to 24. Up here. Raise the hips up as well. Let's go back to the other side here, set those, and let's go ahead and go to frame 36 and we'll raise that up. Then we're going to have to adjust those knees and everything for sure. Okay, and we'll go grab the other side, lock them in at 36, and let's go to 48. Yeah, we're kind of keeping this at the same timing that we normally do walk on 12s for those big moves. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at that and just see how it's looking so far. Okay, feels pretty good so far. Let's go ahead and look at our graph editor. So we got Window Animation Editor's Graph Editor. Let's first look at those hips and make sure that translation in Y, which is the up and down, is pretty consistent throughout. So we don't have any slow ins or slow outs or jerkiness on that. We just want it to be straight through movement upward. Let's go look at that again. this would be kind of like a planted foot, so let's go ahead and move the weight over to that side. Over to that side. Side. To that side. And then back again. And let's go even that up in our graph head here a little more. Let's go and take a look. One thing I am noticing is these are the knees, right? So we definitely want to go ahead and pull those up so they're not intersecting. Same thing with the elbows, just so that it's fine. And let's go ahead and give it a rotate here. To the 0. And maybe we'll tone that down a little bit as well. Okay, and let's go and work something out. Okay, and I'll give a little bit of rotate towards the forward planted foot, which would that one. That one. So we get a little bit of that tilt to our movement as well. And noticing is elbow feels a little too far out. Let's see. So I gotta rotate wise and make sure we clean those up real nice and minimize them a little more. Then we'll get into the chest, and I think a lot of the elbow is actually coming because we're angling the chest a little more than we need to. Let's go ahead and see that now. Okay, and again, let's go ahead and grab all 3 controllers on the chest. We'll do a little bit of rotate wide to favor that upward arm. Zoom over there. Zoom over there. And let's see. Put that elbow a little more. Okay, now let's go back to the, it's just bugging me. Sometimes you'll get that with animation if that's the main thing that you're focusing on. It can be hard to see anything else. So sometimes you have to do a little bit of cleanup along the way, especially if it's distracting your animator's eye. I think that might be a little too much on the rotate Z, so I'll scale that back here. Well, let's go and look at that now. And maybe a little too much on the rotate Y as well. And again, it's all kind of a preference. It's not necessarily broken at this point. Just how much do you want to exaggerate certain things or not? So let's go and see. That's pretty good. Okay, let's go and see that. And one thing I do want to do is kind of do these passing positions on these hands. So again, we're just going to lock in all of our main keys here. Just go back through and hit S on our keyboard. And then right here, we're going to, should we translate X? So hand lifts off and then plants back down. It's off and then plants down so we get that lift. Let's go ahead and do the other hand. And again, we're just going to go ahead and lock in all of our keys here one more time. Translate X that way. Translate X that way. Let's see, there's a lot of stuff that's similar to like a step, but just in a different angle and a different way. It's the same idea behind it. Let's kind of do the same here with those feet. Don't think we'll be able to get away with as much here. So I think we can still do a little bit. And one thing I didn't do is make sure we locked in all our keys first. It's a good thing just so that you don't have to go back and rekey something that you're already put in. And just make sure all the values are. And like I said, that might be a little too much. It's just having too much of a straight leg. I still want a little bit of a bent leg doing that. Okay, maybe a little too much. We'll have to do some with just the rotation of the feet here. Okay, and again, we'll go ahead and lock in all of our foot positions here. One thing I do think I want to do with that foot especially is just lift it up a little bit more. A little bit more, and then we'll tone down those X's. We want to go from that straight to that bend better than just having that straight all the time. Okay, let's go ahead and look at that foot one more time. And here, I think I want it to actually rotate let it drag back. Rotate. Again, a little bit of drag back. A little bit of So we don't have one side that's got a really big toe. Oh, I've got a little toe. That feels pretty good. That's probably a little high. That's good. It's really even. I might do overall. Let's grab the rotate to Y and just give it a little more. Just so that toe's not really intersecting. So rotate Y. So that toe's not really intersecting. That's a little better. Let's go ahead and do the same here on this foot. Let's look at these hands. Let's go ahead and save our file again. We just haven't done that for a little while. And let's go ahead and drag the hand. Actually, before we go too much further, let's go ahead and just lock in all of our keys one more time. So we get that little bit of drag and slap. Again, we're just going to drag the hand a little bit that way. That way. That slap. And then we'll get into some fingers and we'll get that going a little better. And just go in and make sure I got everything keyed. And drag a little bit there. Slap. Okay. There. There. So let's go and look at that now. Alright, let's go ahead and take a better look at these fingers here. And 12 and 24, 36 and 48. And just so I make sure we got some. Can revert back to keys if we need to. Drag in. Key it and lift it up there so we got a little slap. Scale it back a little bit more. So we're getting a little bit of intersection. That area. So I think what that means is we might have to adjust that pose a little more. And let's go do that on the other side here. Let's get a little closer. For some reason, this hand's a little bit harder to since it's green. Instead of red, it's hard to make sure that you want to grab just the things you want. 36, okay. 6, and we'll try to get in there. I'll lift it up there. And we'll try like that. Okay. Let's make sure we're not intersecting. A little bit of that problem we can hear. So just adjust the wrist a little more. Section again there. Okay, let's go look at it again. And let's go ahead and those and delay on the frame. Just the tips and delay the frame so we have that successive movement throughout. And then we'll take the index finger, all of it, and push it forward frame. And we'll take the rest of the palm here and we'll delay the frame so there's a 2-finger delay between there. And that should break it up a little bit more. Take a look back. One thing I'm also going to do here, I think I'm going to do a little bit of drag. Just to mix it up a little bit. And let's go and look at the other side again and start mixing that up a little bit more just so it's not all even. I think the idea works here. So I want to take the mids and the tips and delay the frame. And then the tips one more frame so we have that successive movement throughout. And then let's go ahead and with the index, but push it forward frame. Let's go and look at that now. shoulders. Let's go and save our file. See if we can do a little bit on the shoulders here. Change the shape in that body without it affecting too much as well. Doesn't affect the head and everything just by doing those shoulders. Let's go look at the thumbs. We'll get the thumbs on as well. Just do a little bit here. Hold it at 12. Set it at 25. 36. Okay. Drag it a little bit. Let's see here. And let's go look at the other thumb here. And we're doing them at a little bit different timing. If you notice, this is only one frame delay instead of 2 frames. So if we go back at 15, go 24, 37. And then we'll drag it down here. So we have that little bit of successive movement, just adds for a better feeling of plant on there. Okay, let's go look at those hands again. Let's go ahead and see if we can't do maybe a booty here as well. Let's go ahead and save our file here. I was thinking if we can, let's do a little bit of drag. This is probably too much. A little bit of kind of squash and stretch there. Here. So it's like okay, probably too much drag so let's go ahead and see. Yeah, very good middle in there. So we get both that stretch out and that squash back in. And we don't need a lot of it, just a little bit. We'll add some more feeling to our animation there. Okay, so it's good to see it now. Pull down there. That's good. Even exaggerate it a little bit more. You see it like it's got that stretch and then squashed over. Probably even exaggerate a little bit more. I don't want it to be a focal point, but I want to be able to feel it. Watching it. Squash, stretch. Feels a lot better. Okay. offset that in the chest. So get a little bit of that. It's always good to try and use all the controllers if you can. Doesn't mean you have to play them up and over exaggerate them, but just so you get stuff moving in every dimension. So you get, up and down, side to side, and then at the angle there. Okay, and now let's get into the spot and we'll offset it there. We gotta be careful that we're not face planting in the pool as well. Movements up a little bit. Let's go look at that now. There we go. We got that little bit of compression. We got that little bit of squash and stretch. It feels a little bit better. And we probably even do the head. Three frames before. It's a little too bobby for me, so let's go ahead and pull that back. Okay, let's go and look at that now. Let's try doing the inverse. See if that's better. Throughout there. Just a little bit. Let's see. Just for more dynamism to our shot, let's go ahead. It's too high. Yeah, looking up, it's a little bit better. Camera for this one as well. So we start off kind of something like this. So let's go ahead and create a camera here. And we'll perspective look through the camera again. And we'll give kind of a dynamic angle to our shot. shots. That's pretty good. Let's watch the camera now. Now it's got to clean that up here. Camera going up pretty evenly. Translate C. We don't need a camera, we can always just go back to a single camera, but I think a moving camera might be kind of cool to do for this shot. Get it to not whip around so fast. And what we'll do is something different for parent our camera to a locator and spin a locator. There. Okay, so let's go to camera 1. With that, and then we're going to go ahead and switch back to panel's perspective. We're going to add a locator. Push the locator into the middle of the pole here. And then we'll go ahead and go window, outliner, camera, show all, go locator, and then put the camera and parent it. We'll grab the camera, control click the locator, parent it, so we have the locator. And we can set the locator here. And there. Let's go to panel's perspective. Let's go to camera 1. So it's just going to have a and then we want the locator to rotate in Y. Let's see. Let's watch that now. Let's do. Let's rotate it a little bit so we're going something. Let's see. That's more like what I want. Okay, so we did there was we created a locator, and then we parented our camera to our locator, and then we set up the locator while the locator was moving, and then the camera just panned around that to kind of give us a focal point to go there. short amount of time. I think I'll just keep it simple. I'll just look through our perspective here. Let's see. Do something like that instead. Okay, let's try to create polygon primitive or create a camera. Perspective camera too. Start off with something like this with a little bit of angle. Set that. It's a lot easier on camera move. We'll just keep it simple, keep it in just one. Let me know down in the comments below which camera angle you liked, or what you think is would be a good camera angle for this shot. Cameras are really fun to play with. But that being said, I think the animation's works out pretty well for this one. So definitely let me know down in the comments below what you would have done different, or what you liked, or what you learned on this, or just any sort of thing that you're creating. Especially if you're using this rig to create your own animation, definitely share it back so we can see all the wonderful stuff that you're making, and everyone can share it and like it and all that good stuff. And let's take a look back at where we started. I'm just gonna turn the curves off while we play that. There's no secret to getting better at drawing. Just keep drawing every day and keep getting better every day. And find the artwork that inspires you and emulate it. Take it apart, put it back together again. If you do all this fueled by a love of the medium, you're bound to come out better on the other side. Totally true. Keep it up, everyone. You guys are amazing. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. And that being said, we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.